Okay, Dave, you want to do your deal? You have 2 deals.
2.
Let's do them. This is good for them to hear different deals.
So part of it is at the JV. The thing that opened my eyes at the JV meeting yesterday is how many people were in real estate prior to, having a smart real estate coach as a mentor, and this is why What's the return on investment? Infinite. I mean, it looks like you had 2,500 in, but you got 6,000, or was it 9,000 down?
9,000 down day one.
So 9,000. So you didn't have any money in the property. No. Infinite return. And my first deal, when I came on, I said, okay, but Chris, we got a piece of property we own free and clear that we bought intentionally, and I like the idea of being the bank. I like this idea better, by the way. That's why I signed up. But this was Beth and I bought this property for $46,000 after closing. We put about 11.7 into it, so we had 58 in, and all cash. I mean, it was our money, not IRA money. It was just our money. We sold the property for $100,000. I got $10,000 down, and we sold it at 9% interest. So we get an $890 a month payment on that for 10 years. So it's a good deal. That equates to about $77,000 of profit in our pocket. But again, we had $50,000 of our own money tied up. That's a 25.5% return, which beats the stock market. But when I started looking at, I bought the Quantum Leap, and that's when I said, well, that's a lot better. I'd rather have deals where I got no money in and make an infinite return. So our first deal, just so you know, this was one of my first weeks of calls on I had a VA at the time through Elsa's VA service, and her name was Victoria, and she was all right, didn't give me, and nothing like less, but this was one of my first calls. The guy wasn't interested, and then he called me in March and said, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, who are you?
How many months was that, Dave?
It was about a 3-month period of time. So, and he finally called, and if anybody knows anything about me, my follow-up is atrocious. Basically, if you don't call me, I'm probably not going to buy the property. So, and I'm kidding. I'm going to get better, Chris. I promise. But so we got this property for $105,000, and he owes like $98,000, the seller. Really nice guy. So I found a 4th payday in this, and I just realized it. So we had the property. We had a buyer. And they put a $1,000 deposit in cash, which I learned later we're not supposed to take cash. I'm learning the hard way. But then we had a hurricane blow through, and it did damage to the roof. And for that $1,000, we got the insurance company to put a new roof on it. So now we got a property that is improved. It's got a brand new roof, and it only cost us $1,000 because that buyer backed out. So that was not such a bad thing. Then we had another buyer. I didn't put that on here, the $2,000 deposit. Yeah. So we got another $1,000 deposit, and they backed out. Why? Because like Claudia says, we all love the 2 bedrooms so much. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and Sergio knows this. This is in Keystone Heights, Florida, which is on the way to nowhere. You can't get there from anywhere, and this is basically. But we got it sold for $130,000. Our payday 1 on this was $5,000. We got $5,000 down, and then we get. I say that's payday 1, but payday 1 gets another on April 18th or on or before April 30th of 2018, we get another $4,000, and on April 30th of 2019, we get another $4,000. When Nick talked to these people, he called me up. He goes, because he knew we had some problems getting rid of the property. I mean, we got paid twice on it, but Nick's like, Dave, this is solid. This is solid numbers for a house like this. Let's just go with it, and we went with it. And if you know anything about Nick, he'll double a nickel every time he talks to. I've never heard him say, this is perfect, but you did. You handled it. It was awesome. So technically, payday 1 is $13,000.
Well, I know how much trouble you have with the property.
Yeah, so 13,104 is, we'll just say 13,000 is payday 1. There's a couple zeros in there somewhere. Payday 2 is, we're making $311 a month on the property. So we'll have about $7,500 there. So that's $7,500 on payday 2, and then payday 3. That because it's a lower price house, the principal pay down is not much, but in 24 months we'll have about a $6,000 principal pay down. So that's payday 3. If we add the $2,000 we got up, so that's a $40,000 profit on a deal that we got nothing in. That's what really attracted me to this most of all, is I had no credit tied up, I had no money in the property, and we're going to make 40 grand. So I mean, that's why we're here. And so, I mean, ultimately, I don't know, I can't say it anymore. So you keep.
I just said to Dave, I want you to show that last deal, and I forgot the numbers were, but it's not a 60 grand deal, but it's a 100 grand house. That's a good little deal. And like he said, he's got no money, and so what the heck? You do 10 of those all day long, right?
Yeah, and it's everything wrong. It's a 2-bedroom. It's wrong. It's a, I mean, but even so, it can still be wrong. You made money on your deal, right? It can still be wrong. You
That's
still
a
make
new
money.
one. So it's not a bad or shitty house. It's just wrong.
It's just wrong.
I think. Wait a minute. You said something,
You can
Dave.
do it wrong and still make money.
Dave, you said something important, because I was talking to some of our JV partners, and they were pre-qualifying themselves out of doing business before they even called, before they even did anything. I was like, I don't want that. It's not an area I want. It's not a 2-bedroom. Especially when you're new and you're just started making calls, go
with it.
Just go, get out there. And it might work out like this, where you get paid a couple times on one property. It's not the worst thing in the world.
And I'm glad you brought that part up, because the payment on this was like $647, and we had it, about 6 months, Beth? Yeah, I guess we had it about 6 months. And the seller was like because we had an infinite amount of time before I had to make the first payment.
So, you made it contingent upon a buyer, right?
Yeah, and so we got down the road, and we knew we had a buyer in our back pocket, and I said, look, Josh, I'll pay the payment this month. And I already had the buyer. So we looked really good. We did make the payment because I knew we were going to get the buyer, and it worked out. So I was willing to take a risk because we knew we were close. We're getting a lot of action on the property. So, I mean, you can do it wrong and still make money.
Many more. What was that? Wait, Dave, in case they have questions. Nick, if you don't mind.
Well, she said how many months? So you didn't have.
You got it, Nick.
So
he repeated it.
We went under contract in March, and we finally closed this thing out in September. So it took. I didn't make it. I'm sorry. I've got this on 36 months, but I've talked to him. He's like, I don't care as long as I don't have to make that $650 a month. So I may just, if I'm hoping these people, finance out of it. But because we're making $300 a month, but it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, so I don't want this one back. I can tell you that. So.
Yeah. So you'll help them get financing.
Yeah.
Actually, Jason will tomorrow. Good job.
There you go.
Sergio, let's do yours. And guys, I didn't say this with Zach's program. I know some people are doing it as we speak, but that goes through tomorrow night. Just so you don't think, they were trying to push me to. While you're here, that's the price while you're here. Okay? It's not going to go up till we hit the internet on Monday. Thanks so much for watching that video. I'm going to try to come out with more and more deal structuring videos so that you know exactly how to navigate the sometimes tricky waters of doing deals all on your terms. That means no cash, no credit, no chasing investors, none of that. You being able to navigate on deals. Now, how would you like to do those deals on your own? Like clockwork, every single month, eventually one a week. How would you like to do that? How would you like to be putting those 3 paydays in your pocket that consistently? Well, there's one way to do it if you haven't done it yet, and that's to jump on our Quantum Leap System home study program. It's right here below. Click the link, grab the QLS. If you're serious about making this year your breakthrough year, you'll be able to do the same deal structuring that we're showing right now. The big difference is, instead of watching, you'll be putting the dollars in your pocket. Hey, be sure to subscribe below as well so you don't miss any of these videos. Look, I don't know if you're going to take action on the QLS. You should right below here, but if you don't, definitely don't miss any of these videos. Subscribe below, and I look forward to seeing you on the future videos. Take care.